I really didn't know where to go. So I went to one of the big law firms, and I just felt like I was getting the runaround. I never really talked to a real lawyer. It was always a paralegal or a secretary. And that's when I met you. And when I met you, I felt comfortable that you would return my calls right away. If I had any questions or concerns, you were always available for me to talk to. Through the whole time, even though it took years to solve my case, you were there for me all through the years, supportive. When I was down, I could call you and talk to you, and you reassured me that you were there to help me instead of just being there to like make money. You were there as a friend, and you helped me a lot, and I felt very comfortable with you, and that's why I referred you to many people. It's just a constant reminder that every day my whole life completely changed because of these car accidents. I'm not the same person. I just want to feel good again, and I know that's never going to happen.
And that's really important for people out there. And again, it might be a good opportunity to write down our phone number. It's 839-3939, because we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you call my office, you can be patched directly through to my cell phone. I have that option in terms of technology. And I want everyone out there to know we're there for you during the case and even after the case.
You were there for me, and I knew that if somebody needed to talk to a lawyer, that you'll be there. They're not talking to secretaries or paralegals, that you were always there. I had your cell phone number. I even called you on days that you weren't working, that you were with your family, but you still were there for me if I needed to talk to you, and I felt very comfortable with that. I felt like you were a very trustworthy and honest person, that there's a bunch of lawyers out there that most of them are just in the game for the money, and I felt different with you. You felt more like a good friend than just my lawyer.
And I really appreciate you saying that, Amy. And it goes with my personal philosophy. I try to treat you folks, your victims, you didn't do anything wrong, try to treat you the way I would want to be treated in your circumstance. So I say to myself, as I'm working on your cases, number one, I don't handle every case that comes in the door. We're careful about taking the cases where we can try to help people. Not to say we won't take a case that's a harder case, because we do, but we try to take the cases where we can help you, we can work together. And you get a feeling when you're working with someone, whether it's your doctor or your lawyer, where you can talk to them, be honest with them, and then you can work together toward a goal, which is the goal is to get you back on your feet medically, get the bills paid, get the case settled, get you a fair amount to settle the case. So I appreciate everything you've said, Amy, I really do. Rodney, why don't we talk a little bit about what happened to you?
Okay, it was like a nice day. I was riding my motorcycle, and a truck went through an intersection and hit me. I went to another lawyer, and they weren't exactly up to par with personal injury, so they referred me to you, Jed.
Now, Rodney, a difference for people out there, if you're getting information from this television show, the important issue here is that Rodney was in a motorcycle accident. When you're in a motorcycle accident, there's no guarantee to get your medical bills paid. In a car accident, you've got New York State no-fault coverage, which is like your own little medical policy. It's attached to your car. So if you're in a car accident, it doesn't cost anything. There's no referral fee to get your medical bills paid. You don't have to have any out-of-pocket expenses for co-pays or anything like that in a car accident. Rodney was in a motorcycle collision. In a motorcycle case, you don't have that security of getting your bills paid, and that's your medical bills and your lost wages. Stay tuned, because you will be provided with important information on what to do if you're a victim and you were injured and it wasn't your fault. Irvin, why don't you say a little bit about your background? We got to start to work together maybe about 5 years ago.
Yes, right.
And what happened to you the first time? Because you've actually had 2 cases.
I never was in an accident case before. For some reason, I just seen your name, and it just said fierce, loyal, and honest. And the Spirit just led me. I don't know what happened. And the Spirit just led me. I don't know what happened. I just dialed that number, and I was so relaxed. I was so relaxed when I came in there, and you had me at ease and everything, and told me what would happen. I filled out some forms and stuff, and we set up some doctor's appointments and stuff, and I had some good doctors and everything, and we just went from there, you know. And with the second accident case, I remember I came right back to you, and I remember you said, and Peggy said, Urban, don't worry, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. What we try to do when we're working with people like you, Irvin, is try to put ourselves in your shoes and then give you the information that we would want if we were in your shoes. So the key to any relationship, whether it's with your doctor or with your lawyer, where you've got these close relationships and your medical care is involved, is to have open lines of communication. So I give every one of my clients my cell phone number. Every single one of my clients has my cell phone number. And you may think, oh, are you getting calls 24 hours a day? I'm not, because again, the clients I choose to work with and the folks that call me, we get on the same page. We try to be part of a team together. So I know if I get a phone call, and I just had a phone call Saturday morning, and I was with my family. I ended up going over to the hospital at the Erie County Medical Center shortly after the phone call, and the person was in very bad shape. I mean, she was run over by 2 cars, she had a broken leg, she was going to require surgery, and it was the same situation. I say, hey, if I was her sitting in the hospital, I would really want somebody to come over. Now, there's no additional attorney's fee for me to come to your home. There's no additional attorney's fee for me to come to the hospital to work with you. Our fee is 1/3. We've got a situation where we don't get paid unless we win for you. So it's a situation where you don't lose anything. You've got a lot of potential to take a load off of your mind. You need to listen to the doctors, because in today's economy, it's tough. There aren't a lot of good jobs out there. You don't want to lose your job. And I encourage my clients to return back to work if they're physically able to do that. The issue is, are they physically able, and what does your doctor say? So we've got a very good relationship with really the top doctors, in my opinion, in Western New York, with the orthopedic spine surgeons, the orthopedic shoulder, knee, hip surgeons, the chiropractors, the physical therapists. We've got a group of experts that we've worked with along the way that we have confidence in, so when we refer you to them, we think you're going to get a good result and get back on your way down the road.
But then the insurance companies would send me to their doctors, you know? And their doctors would say, this ain't right, hey, you're not hurt here, you're not hurt here. And I would be worrying all about this stuff.
There's a very important concept taking place right now between Rodney, Irvin, and Amy. These are my former clients. They're not paid anything to be here today. And they're talking about their experiences and how it was to be a victim. It was never any of your faults, the accidents, and how it was to have problems with your own insurance companies. And that's the thing. Insurance companies are in the business to return value to their stockholders. And when they do that, they have to keep their premiums high or reduce their payouts. It's a business like any other business. It's a confrontational business. So I try to be there behind you.
I didn't even know whether I had a case.
My life fell apart in that car accident.
They fought you every step of the way. I remember wanting to jump up and go, she's lying.
You had a battle on your hands. That's when I decided to call you.
And the Spirit just led me. I don't know what happened. I just dialed that number.
You're the guy to be on my team.
No matter what, you just reassured me like things are gonna get better. They're gonna get okay. You don't listen to the insurance companies. I mean, because I was getting harassed. Their doctors were horrible. They kept telling me nothing's wrong with you, nothing's wrong with you. And I knew something was wrong with me, but I mean, I was with you for many years, and as long as it took, you were just always there. And
There's a common misconception there that the courts are too busy or that the lawyer is too busy. What I do is I can't take every case that comes in the door, but the cases that I choose to take and the people I choose to work with, we try to get those cases from start to finish resolved within a year or a year and a half. And our average is about 18 months. So if you have an accident out there, typically if you come to my office, on average, the case will last about 18 months. And you may say, well, why does it last 18 months? And you folks know this, because you get medical care. It's the medical care that holds back the case to move it forward, not necessarily the lawyer's schedule. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of lawyers are busy, but what I try to do right from the beginning of the case, if your case has to go to court, and about 95% of the cases do not have to go to court. Some cases go a little bit into court. We'll file the paperwork and maybe do a deposition. With regard to the deposition, which is a formal proceeding in a room such as this is my conference room, we have depositions here all the time. There's a court reporter, a person who takes notes. The witness, which was you, swears to tell the truth. And what I do is I actually prepare you in a way that hopefully makes you comfortable.
At first, I was nervous because I knew I was going to get questioned, a million questions, and trying to remember everything that happened and the pain that I was in. But with you, you made it comfortable. We, went over everything. So when it came time for the deposition, it went very smooth. There was no arguing, no bickering. I felt comfortable being in there, and with you there with me, it made me feel more confident.
And that's something that's important here. What type of an impression you make, Rodney, Irvin, and Amy, has a direct bearing on what kind of result I can get you. So before we go into a deposition, I prepare you so that you can make the best impression possible to try to get you the best result possible. Because the bottom line is that people who are articulate, as you folks are, people who express yourselves competently, make better witnesses at trial. So what we try to do is prepare the case and get all the leverage up against the insurance company so that they feel like they are required to settle the case. I try to do everything I can with your assistance to try to get as much leverage up against the insurance company because that's what it comes down to. It's a confrontational business, and in this confrontational business, it's a matter of who is going to prevail. There are winners and losers when it comes to the accident because the attorney-client privilege extends to you and I, which means what you tell me stays with me and it stays within my staff. It allows me to know your intimate problems such that I can find solutions for those problems. And that's what I do. I find solutions for your problems, and we try to do it in a way that allows us to work together. Stay tuned, because you will be provided with important information on what to do if you're a victim and you are injured and it wasn't your fault.
I didn't even know whether I had a case.
My life fell apart in that car accident.
It's just a constant reminder that every day my whole life completely changed because of these car accidents.
They fought you every step of the way.
I remember wanting to jump up and go, she's lying.
You had a battle on your hands. That's when I decided to call you.
And the spirit just led me. I don't know what happened. I just dialed that number.
I felt like you were a very trustworthy and honest person.
There was no doubt in my mind that everything would be fine.
You made more happen in 5 hours than they did in 5 months.
You alleviated much of my anxiety.
I felt different with you. You felt more like a good friend.
I had my check within days.
And you just handled that case so beautiful for me.
I think you really care.
We try to treat every single client who comes to the office with respect and the way we would want to be treated.
You're the guy to be on my team.
All right, we're back talking about what to do after you're injured in an accident that's not your fault. Again, my firm, the Dietrich Law Firm, I'm Jed Dietrich. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can contact us at 839-3939. So we're having a conversation here about what to do after a collision and what my firm will do for you.
And the offer that they gave me from the beginning was a slap in the face. I mean, it was a slap in the face. And you told me, you said, don't worry, just wait. And it was another offer, and there's another offer. And you got what you said you was gonna get from me.
Sure.
And I'm so pleased with that.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And that's the insurance companies, they very frequently will give you a low-ball offer and see if you and your lawyer are willing to push the case a little bit further. And what we do in my office is we don't take every case that comes in the door, which allows us to work on the cases that we're handling to the best of our abilities, to try to get you, we attempt to get you the very best result we can. And so if I get more money for you, I get more money for myself. So we're in it together that way, but my main concern is to reach your expectations. If you've slipped and fallen and it wasn't your fault, contact my office so I can do 3 things for you. Number 1, personally meet with you. Number 2, complete a proper investigation. And number 3, preserve your rights to fair and adequate compensation. So we have a team of investigators and experts. We have biomechanical experts, we have engineering experts, we have property maintenance experts. So if you've slipped or you've fallen or you've been walking down some stairs and a railing was loose and that came out of the wall and it caused you to fall, those are the types of cases we handle. We also handle cases where you're in an apartment or at a home and a ceiling comes down on you, a ceiling collapse case we handle. And then obviously we handle the car accident cases and the cases where you're injured and it's not your fault. So if you've been injured and it's not your fault, call us. There's absolutely no fee. 839-3939. We will preserve your rights and tell you what we can do for you. Because what we try to do is we try to match your expectations with our abilities such to get you the best results. So we try to absolutely reach the expectations you have and exceed your expectations. We encourage people to stop into the office with or without an appointment. I may not be here, but my assistant Peggy is usually here, or some other member of my staff can address your concerns. We have a convenient location at Maple and North Forest Roads in Amherst, conveniently off the 290 Expressway, the Youngman Expressway. We've got our own parking lot. There are no stairs or anything like that. You can come right in if you're in a wheelchair. That's not a problem. And what we try to do is keep the lines of communication, the contact between you and us, close so we can get to know you to present your case in the best way possible. After a car accident, there are very strict time deadlines that need to be satisfied. If you miss a time deadline, you may be precluded or disallowed from getting medical care. If you don't know if you've been injured, you need to get your rights preserved. If you were involved in a car accident, the one thing that absolutely needs to be done right away is the no-fault application has to be filled out. There's a very strict deadline that if you miss that deadline, it may not allow you to get medical care. Therefore, get into an accident, there are 3 things you need to do. Contact the police. Go to the doctor and call our office. We will handle everything for you. Have you ever read your automobile insurance policy? If not, you don't know what benefits you're entitled to. If you've been in an accident and you've been injured, contact my office. We will review your automobile insurance policy and explain what benefits you're entitled to. And the point we're trying to make here is that your insurance coverage on your automobile insurance policy dictates how much medical and wage reimbursement you will have after a car accident. So again, what we will do at no charge to you is review your documents and tell you what type of coverage you have. Have you, your friends or family had an injury and it wasn't your fault? If so, stay tuned so that you can be provided with the information to protect your rights. If you've just tuned in to our show right now, we're talking about what to do after an injury accident when it's not your fault. This could be a car accident. It could be a ceiling collapse that collapses on you in your apartment or some friend's apartment. This could be a case where you've fallen in a grocery store. It could be a situation where you're walking in a crosswalk and you're struck by an automobile. It could be a situation where you fall off an ATV and someone else didn't have that ATV properly maintained. We are here to help you when you're injured because of someone else's fault. So when you call my office at 839-3939, there is no cost for a free consultation. What we try to do is get behind our clients, because the legal business is a win-lose business. I mean, there are winners and there are losers. And what we try to do is everything we can to make your case as strong as possible to get in the win column. Now, you may have injuries that are going to be a problem down the road. We're going to do everything we can to compensate you for every injury you have. You generally have one chance to be compensated for your injuries. Don't make a mistake and contact the wrong lawyer. Contact us at 839-3939. If you've been injured, you have an important decision to make regarding which lawyer you hire. In New York State, it doesn't cost anymore to hire a lawyer with a great track record. The attorney's fee is set by law. Therefore, hire the best lawyer for your injury case. Contact me at 839-3939. We've got a special guest here today for anyone who's seen my previous shows. Terry Blackie was with us for our last show, and she's here to tell us and give us an update on how she's doing now. How you doing, Terry?
Doing fabulous.
It's good to see you again.
Doing fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. So you started your own business.
Yes, I did. I used the proceeds from that, from the accidents, the good thing that came out of it. And I just hired my 4th employee. Do you know some of your clients track me down on Facebook, or your potential clients?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they have my name from you, and if on Facebook, there have been 3 people, and they say, please friend me, I want to see Dietrich, how was it? So I friend them, and then we ended up actually talking. I remember one time I was talking to a friend in Penny's, and someone was coming by. Was that true? Was that really true? I mean, I'm like, yeah, he asked me to do him a favor. I told him because he took such good care of me. He was so personable. And then when they get back to me, they say, he was just like you said he was. He talked to me. I actually met him the first day I went in. I wasn't expecting to meet him. I'm like, that's Jed. I mean, it wasn't a script. It wasn't rehearsed. This was just what happened. I said it was an easy story to tell. I mean, it was just perfect in every way. I have a huge family, and we have family reunions, and this is where it comes up, especially when they come out of town and they happen to catch the infomercial. And we sit down and we talk about how it is when you go in. And nobody has ever said they've ever seen the lawyer that made the commercial. They always end up seeing someone else. They go there 1 or 2 times and they don't see the lawyer. And I won't mention the name of the firm, but she said the only time she saw that lawyer, because they took it all the way to court, was like 15 minutes before they walked into the courtroom. She had never, ever, ever met this man before. And she really didn't feel comfortable about it, because how can he speak for me when he was just like reading the notes real quick? It wasn't even a lot of eye contact while, the 15 minutes before they went in. He was just going over the notes from the other people she saw. I don't know if they were clerks or paralegals. I don't know who it was that she saw, but she said she did not see the lawyer until it was actually time to walk in the courtroom, and I can't imagine that.
It's important for people out there to understand this. You call my office, 839-3939. We do not charge you anything for that phone call. If I believe you have a claim that needs to be investigated, you come to my office, or I come to you for free. I will come to you in the hospital. I will come to you at your home. And what I will do is explain to you what the legal issues are and explain to you what needs to be done to preserve your rights. And then I will do that for you such that we can get you the proper result. Your insurance company was like any other insurance company. They want to fight you, and you need somebody to fight them on your behalf. And we don't charge any extra to fight your no-fault insurance company, in addition to fighting the liability insurance company for the person that struck you. So you've got 2 insurance companies fighting you.
It was just a hassle. It was one big hassle. I could have never, ever done it on my own. And I think they do that on purpose. I think they just want you to throw up your hands and say, forget about it.
They do. What they do is they give you hassles to try to discourage you from getting treatment, which leads to you not getting better, and it leads to them paying less money out on your claim. And the longer it goes before you get medical treatment, the harder it is to link up the causation of your injuries to the car accident. So after a car accident, after a slip and fall, After any type of an injury to you where it's not your fault, somebody else causes your injuries, you need to do 3 things. Number 1, if it's a car accident, get a police report. You have to get the police report. Number 2, if you slip and fall at a grocery store or a department store, you've got to file an incident report and talk to the manager. And you got to get pictures. Whip out your cell phone, get some pictures. And then we've got experts who can go out after the fact, get further pictures, get dimensions, and then that dovetails in with the investigation of a lighter impact car collision. You're hit from behind, you get propelled forward. The seat belt holds you in, which means your neck comes forward, your body stays in. All the force goes through your neck of how the collision occurs. And a lot of times these cars don't show a lot of damage.
I was just saved. That's why I'm here anytime you need me.
What we provide is personal attention for your personal injury. We get to know our clients. It allows us to present your case in a way that maximizes our ability to help you.
True. Very true. It happened. I'm living proof.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you, Jess.
It's a
So
pleasure
nice
to
be
see
here
you again.
Yep.
You take care. Hello and welcome back. Jed Dietrich here from the Dietrich Law Firm. You can contact us at 839-3939. My guest for this portion of the show is Dr. David Pkwy. Dr. Pkwy, good to see you. Dr. Pkwy, importantly, is a chiropractic doctor in Western New York. He works out of North Tonawanda. He's a Buffalo guy, graduated from Niagara Falls High School. And importantly, Dr. Pkwy and I work together. And even more importantly, Dr. Pkwy was a former client of mine. Dr. Pkwy had an automobile injury case, and as he's going to describe right now, it was a rather complicated case. We did depositions, and we ultimately resolved the case to Dr. Pkwy's satisfaction, but it took a fight, and we're going to talk a little bit about that fight. So Dr. Pkwy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
My background, I'm from the Western New York area, Niagara Falls, grew up. I graduated from Niagara Falls High School. I started my college career at Niagara County Community College and finished at Buff State, where I acquired a math, science, and chemistry degree, and then I went on to graduate school to New York Chiropractic College. I graduated in 1999. I've been practicing for about 15 years now.
Tell us about your first accident, and again, there's an issue there because I didn't represent you in your first case. You went to a different firm.
My first accident was approximately 11 years ago. It was a severe rear end accident. I was represented by another attorney. The case dragged out. It was finally settled. My second accident happened about 4 years after that, and it was going to be a little more complicated. There was injuries that were previous, new injuries that were acquired, and I wanted to go to somebody that I thought could handle that case and that could handle the complications of the litigation of that case.
And how did you actually come to my attention?
It was through a patient and through commercials, honestly, and I researched you, and I thought, you know, you could be the, and I called your office, and I thought you could be the guy I could sit in front of, talk to, and I was very impressed when I did sit down because you're a high-profile attorney, but you seem very down-to-earth and easy to talk to.
And that's what I try to do with my clients. I try to treat my clients and everyone in my life the way I want to be treated, such that when people say, what is Jed Dietrich like? The standard answer is, he can talk to me. He will talk to me. He doesn't talk down to me. Don't make a mistake and contact the wrong lawyer. Contact us at 839-3939.